Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello there.
You've been talking a lot of Obi-Wan today.
Yeah.
Is there something going on?
Well, you know,
What the heck is that?
you would think some floating in our studio. Yeah. You would think with all the hubbub on the internet, you think it would be a title, but no, it's not.
No, it's not.
Something to me equally cooler in itself, and that we've been waiting much longer than a title. It's Obi-Wan show.
Yes.
Hopefully
Hopefully an Obi-Wan show.
It seems likely.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the news.
That's the big news. See you guys next week.
Go look it up because you know.
No, but this episode, I think I think it's time. Maybe it's a little bit premature, but we want to dive in a little bit of our thoughts of what that could mean. Because I feel like we've been focused on an Obi-Wan movie. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, the rumor is that there's a Disney Plus series coming. Yeah. So we'll get into that, but what could that mean? What stories can be there? You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
From now on, every week I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna keep reminding people. I mean, we are 49 days away from Celebration. Mm-hmm. Cannot wait.
We're getting more news of Celebration now than of anything else. Like today,
Absolutely.
Today we just got some more news about it as well. Today, as we're recording.
Absolutely. But to me, that's like I feel the countdown is just like a movie's coming out.
Yeah.
Like it's just pure excitement. Cannot wait. Let's get into some brief news before we get into our Obi-Wan speculations a little bit. But have you seen? I thought it was pretty neat. They announced Star Wars. That is announced Triple Force Friday.
No, I had not heard of that until today. Actually, Triple Force Friday.
Triple Force Friday. So Force Friday has been the release Friday in the fall prior to a movie technically coming out, where all this new merchandise is hitting shelves. Right. Well, this is Triple Force Friday.
Thrice.
And the three things. I think it's Triple Force because it's
got three big things coming out this year, right?
Three big things. It's inspired by obviously the highly anticipated Episode 9, the first ever live action series, The Mandalorian,
right? And
then the action game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order,
because that is this year, which
that is.
I totally forgot. I mean. When I first heard it, I thought Mandalorian ain't the Cassian show, but that's next year. The Fallen Order. Well, I mean, that's so on the bottom of the radar, though.
I know,
because there's literally nothing of that except for like really officially that teaser screen
that
poster
logo
or whatever logo. Yeah. So, but that's great that they're already that's still a priority for them.
Yes,
they've set themselves up now.
I feel like it's going to be one of them. Trailer reveals at Celebration.
Yeah. Oh, there'll be a panel. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, exactly like how Battlefront 2, because we didn't know of anything.
That's right.
About Battlefront 2 before Celebration. Then we got the trailer. I think we saw. Did we see a gameplay of it? Maybe?
There was some game.
Well, but they gave us pretty much everything we needed to know, like the actress, the story, context of it, and everything. Yeah. So the book.
Yeah, games usually have the two different trailers. They have the story trailer and then they have the gameplay trailer.
Right, yeah.
And we got a story trailer early on. I think we started seeing gameplay stuff at Celebration, which I feel like this, I mean, so close. We haven't seen anything. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's just going to be a story trailer. I don't think we're going to get anything from gameplay yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting too much, unfortunately, just because of just that the video game side of Star Wars has been so hot and cold, well, mostly cold, but So I'd be excited for anything.
I agree.
I'm not expecting a full gameplay thing because I'm assuming they're not there yet. I mean, it's coming out this year. They've got to be pretty much done with the game.
They should be done with the game, yes.
I would hope that, but it's surprising. If they're almost done with the game, we haven't seen anything about it. So it's surprising. They have a very interesting marketing plan.
Well, like you keep saying, you're like, I don't know what they're doing.
It's like, oh, wait. Or like that's... It's funny.
But it makes you wonder because there's so much to market this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you start with?
Mm-hmm.
What do you roll out? Because you have to start promoting. I mean, you have to start promoting episode 9 here soon.
Yeah.
But then you got Mandalorian coming. You've got you got Clone Wars coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Still, we haven't seen anything other than the trailer from last year. There's nothing on that either.
More Resistance.
More Resistance, Season 2 Resistance. You got this game coming out.
Yeah. Star Wars lands Disney Plus. So it's the Vader VR game story. So
I know.
This
I don't know.
I mean, I think
all these books coming out.
Getting bigger and bigger, but this is definitely the biggest year of Star Wars so
absolutely.
far. So
absolutely.
It's crazy.
So anyway, Triple Force Friday is happening in October, October 4th, which is usually a Friday. I think it's a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But that is, a bunch of toys coming out for that. So look forward to that.
But that's going to be before Star Wars Lands opens, right?
Yes.
October 4th? Okay, because you
Well,
think they try to tie them together closely.
I mean, technically, the Disneyland version is out already in May.
Okay.
They keep saying Disney World version is going to be late fall, which sometime in November probably.
Gotcha.
So yeah, interesting. It's interesting about Mandalorian. Mandalorian toys and I guess vehicles and all that stuff will be out then, which will be pretty crazy to see. But Disney Plus, I don't think that we don't have a launch date for that yet.
No.
So I would venture to guess that would be around the time.
Maybe later October, perhaps. After Triple Force Friday.
Yes, or maybe even right at that point, because be very curious. Well, no, I mean, because episode 9, they do it with that, they release toys months before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible the show, the series lands, September maybe, but
October, September is typically like on network.
Correct.
Seasons. That's when they start a lot of the times, but
yeah.
I mean, geez, streaming shows, it's whenever they want.
That's true. Whenever they get it ready and tested. Other movie and TV, I guess, Disney Plus news. Both Episode 9 and The Mandalorian have wrapped filming, which is crazy to think that Episode 9 just wrapped and it's coming out in December.
It's definitely the longest production.
Yeah.
Now, Star Wars officially came out and talked about Episode 9 being wrapped, but did they officially come out and talk about The Mandalorian? Because the first thing I saw was that someone with the crew had made a post about it wrapping, but then quickly deleted it, and someone screen captured it early on. I don't know if I caught that.
So you're right. So I think I think it was a.
I have it here. I don't know. What this guy has affiliation, but at the Unsung Movie posted on Instagram, congratulations to our director Damiano Fusca, who worked on the upcoming show Mandalorian. The crew has officially wrapped in the first season of production, and there's a picture of a helmet of a Mandalorian helmet that's got all kinds of signatures. Says season 1 crew, and everybody's got signatures on it. And I feel like that's got to be Dave Filoni, but maybe not. He has like a nice little illustration on it.
Oh, right,
like
right. Yeah, that looks like Dave.
Gone.
Yeah, it looks like Dave Filoni.
So it seems like it is wrapped. I think that's pretty much
clear. I think you're right.
They just haven't come out and exactly said it yet.
I mean, again, this thing's coming out before Episode 9, so but they started, and I feel like they started around the same time.
I keep forgetting. Did they say 10 or 13 episodes for that? Has that been announced yet? It's like $100 million.
It's 10. I think it's 10. Yeah. I think it's 10 million an episode.
Yeah, that would
say about 100 million.
The reason I'm asking just because, and that ties into the Obi-Wan stuff we're going to talk about, because
Totally.
I've been reading a lot about Marvel and Netflix and their issues that they've been having and all that stuff with the shows, all those shows canceling. But one of the things that, and this is kind of a tangent but kind of related, Netflix had conflict with Marvel. It turns out that Netflix wanted to make those Marvel shows more a 10-episode series to help the creative, keep it more concise. But Marvel was insistent on it being 13. And they say Marvel, but maybe I don't know if that was also a Disney thing or just a Marvel thing. So based on that, I was wondering if it was going way back up to Disney, I was thinking, like, well, what if Mandalorian is in fact 13 episodes? Obi-Wan being 13 episodes, I would take as many episodes as they want to. Yeah, I would take a full 26 episode show. But but no, yeah. So it's always a good thing to think
That's
about.
Interesting.
Fun thing to think about is how many episodes we're going to get.
I don't know if they fully said, but
Yeah.
I want to say I heard it was 10.
I think that was the rumor, but yeah, they have not said officially.
But maybe it's not. Yeah, maybe
13,
if they're upset and they want longer, then definitely it could be 13, 12, 13.
Again, it might be just a Marvel thing, but maybe Disney might want to cash in as much as possible. So who knows?
Yeah.
But that is exciting that it's done.
Which clearly points to the fact that not only obviously we will get Episode 9 footage and trailer at Celebration, but obviously this lends itself to say Mandalorian is definitely coming now.
Yeah.
My suspicions of a full episode, I don't know. I feel like the first episode still could premiere there.
That's what I'm expecting.
You are expecting that too?
I won't be sorely disappointed. I know we'll get. I firmly believe we'll get something.
Yes,
some footage.
Totally. No, totally.
But I'm expecting a premiere episode. First episode.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I'm sticking to it.
Sticking to it. So, like you said, Celebration news. I guess we got some new cast members coming, right?
Yeah, some very familiar faces.
Lando, obviously, the Lando, the other Lando,
the original Lando.
Billy D. Williams will be there. But you got other ones like Alan Tudyk, Freddie Prinze Jr., Taylor Gray. Who else you got?
Captain Nida.
Yep.
And General Veers.
Yep.
Dak and a Sand Trooper.
Yep, that's right.
Talking about also Rancho Obi-Wan, of course, will be there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, definitely Lando. That's exciting since he's absolutely in Episode 9, so it's going to be...
Yeah, I wonder if that's the Episode 9 panel, I guess. I mean,
they've got to have one.
Are these announcing... I
think that's the first actor from Episode 9.
They're just announcing people coming. They're not necessarily saying they're in a panel or just... I'm sure they're probably doing autographs too, maybe, but...
Yeah, they... pretty much anybody they're releasing, it's for the autograph hall that you can buy tickets to.
Yes.
Yeah, you can go ahead. You can go ahead now and pre-purchase your autographing and photo op tickets.
Yes. And then, of course, we mentioned it before, but they have officially announced it, as in Celebration has, the 20th anniversary of The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
They're doing a panel for the movie. Fortunately or unfortunately, it's on Monday.
It's
so not sure who's going to be there.
It's just so funny because the Celebration's always been a great environment for everybody just in love with Star Wars, but there's still even that group of people who don't like the prequels. So are they purposely putting it at the end of the schedule because they know people won't be excited about if it was like the convention opener, like they did last one. It was just a 40th anniversary celebration of episode of A New Hope. So of course everybody's gonna get excited about that. But are they gonna be excited if they opened it with a Phantom Menace? Possibly not. So, but keeping it at the very end, like, are people going to be excited? Like, oh, this is how you're going to... I mean, it doesn't say it's the final panel, right?
No.
It just says Monday. So
Monday.
It could be the morning.
It could be the morning.
But it's on the Celebration stage, the main stage.
But obviously, the thing about it is obviously they haven't announced any participants yet.
Right.
So that's the big question. Is
there's a lot of possible
if
potential.
you had let's speculate, if you had Ian McDermott, Ray Park,
he's usually there.
Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, Liam Neeson, even Jake Lloyd, Ahmed Best, whatever. If you had all of them there, there's no way you do this on Monday.
I know.
Right?
Unless they go ahead and reveal some. If they want to make it a big audience, go ahead and reveal it.
Yes, I think you have to. And I'm hoping that they grab a lot of those big names. Now, being in Chicago, it might be a little harder because, if it was in Anaheim or something like that, it might be a little easier to get people there. But if you had at least, honestly, if you really just had Ian McDermott, Ray Park, Ewan McGregor, and Natalie Portman, Sam Jackson, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to have like 4 or 5 of those stars there to actually really make it relevant.
Yeah.
Like fully relevant. I'm going to care and I'm going to be there as long as we're not doing our show that day.
Yeah.
But think about this. What if you do that? Ewan McGregor's there and they announce the series.
Well, I was thinking, like, if they're going to bring him there, they're going to, I would say, have him that whole weekend just so they can also keep him on their own. Like, if they're gonna officially announce the Obi-Wan panel or have anything about it, they're gonna have a separate day or separate slot for that. Where I would say it's maybe a Disney Plus panel.
Oh, really?
Or maybe if we're like 40-something days away from here until then. If it's officially announced that Obi-Wan is coming, Ewan McGregor's attached to it, and then they can go ahead and say, "Oh, we're gonna have a panel about that, or a panel about Disney Plus where we talk about Obi-Wan." I just think like don't hide it that much. I mean, go ahead and say it.
Don't hide it, but just think about obviously there's probably nothing fully executed yet, right? I mean, they may be.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have leaked. There might be a rumor out there that something leaked that they're talking about it, or maybe they've agreed to it and they're writing it, developing it.
Yeah.
But just imagine. So let's just say I don't know. Warwick Davis is the MC on this, right? He's sitting there on the couch. He introduces, Ewan McGregor, Ahmed Best and Ian McDermott, Ray Park. They're all sitting out there, just like episode 4, just like the 40th anniversary. And he just happens to go, "Hey, Ewan, what do you think about Obi-Wan? What's he doing these days?" And he's like, "I don't know." And then they just say it.
Yeah, if they talk about that.
You know what I mean? Like the logo pops up.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't have to go into anything. There's no panel. There's no release. It's just like, well, yeah, this is what's happening. I mean, think about how crazy because episode the 40th anniversary panel. Look, I don't know if you can tell me what you thought was special about it, but to me, the most special thing about that was a couple things. One, first time we saw Harrison Ford at Celebration. That was entertaining. But in the end, I think everybody went into that thing. Obviously, then John Williams with
that's right,
with the symphony thing. George Lucas obviously being there. I mean, everybody expected that. But the one thing I think everybody truly, without saying it, walked into that panel expecting was, how are they going to tribute this thing to Carrie Fisher? How are they going to dedicate this thing? What are we going to see? And it was great. Billy Lord came out, introduced this gorgeous video. We got posters of her. It's like that was special. With episode 1, I feel like there's not. It's only 20 years old.
Yeah.
I think there's been a lot more appreciation for it ever since Clone Wars, especially, and then just throughout the years as younger people like you that enjoyed it are now older. But I feel like how can you make that panel special?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you make it special by obviously grabbing as many guests as you can from the movie, stars from the movie, because they're big stars now versus 20 years ago maybe. Ewan's huge. Obviously, Natalie Portman's huge.
Yeah.
Oscar-winning actress now.
Everybody. Liam
Neeson's huge. Sam Jackson's the biggest, highest-grossing movie star of all time. It's like and then you still have fan favorites like Park and McDermott. So I just feel like that's enough, but to make it memorable, I don't know. You got to say something, and I'm totally off base, but maybe I guess as a producer and as a person, envisioning if I ran the show, if I can get Ewan McGregor there, I'm announcing it in that panel because Monday again. You remember they did this with Rogue One, in Anaheim. I think it was Anaheim, right? Yeah, because I left early at Anaheim. I didn't stick around all day Sunday. In the last panel on Sunday, they showed that teaser that never got released for Rogue One, and people went crazy over that thing, right? Anyway, and you saw the bootleg version. They never released it because it wasn't a practical, it wasn't from the movie actually. But anyway, I don't know what you think.
For the panel itself, I'd say if they just like when Hayden Christensen came out for everybody freaked out and gave him such a warm welcome. If All My Best came out,
was that the 40th? That was the 40th, right?
Yeah,
Hayden came out. Yeah,
everybody, But if All My Best came out for Phantom Menace, I mean, I think that's because what he experienced is so relevant now.
Yes,
and people, I think people are coming around and appreciating more about what he did and what Phantom Menace did. I mean, there's still the prequel haters out there, of course, but I definitely think the environment has changed for Phantom Menace and for the prequels enough. And then if you bring all the big guys out, and then if you bring All My Best out, I think you would get such a huge warm welcome with that, and really talk about the legacy that film actually has on the saga. But if they announce, I don't know if they announced like an Obi-Wan show, or like officially announced it in whatever sort of way, that would be cool. I don't know if that would take away too much from if they're trying to do something else, or if it's announced beforehand and then he comes back, everybody's freaking completely out because like we know you're Obi-Wan, like we just saw you like yesterday talk about the show, and maybe they ask a few more questions about it there. That would be cool, but I can't think of any George Lucas can come out there. They'll may have a little thing with him as well, but something to make it special. I can't think what that would be. Like, besides just bringing, like you said, as much of the cast. You bring Anthony Daniels out. You bring, heck, I don't know, the actors who played Panaka, even though the word is that he hates Star Wars. So I don't know. Like, you just bring out as many of the cast as possible just to show that presence would be pretty cool.
Okay. Well, here, let's just, because let's just get into kind of our main topic here, where we're talking about the series and what we think of the series. Because here's why I kind of just thought of this too. Here's why I feel like it could tie into episode 1. Okay, so I think what would be incredible, and again, I'm just off the cuff thinking, but I thought about other stories, but I actually just thought about this. Because, the biggest thing about what do we want to see out of an Obi-Wan series, right? Mm-hmm. We talked about it earlier today. Because you had mentioned, we'll go ahead and tell everybody what you mentioned to me about Solo failing and
some of the articles coming out. I originally read it on Star Wars Newsnet, and they weren't clear on who their source was, but the story goes that there was going to be an Obi-Wan movie, but based on the negative reaction and the low box office performance of Solo, they essentially shelved or just completely scrapped the Obi-Wan movie. But now it's coming back as a TV show or as a Disney Plus show. Because I read that. That makes sense business-wise, I suppose. But personally, it doesn't make sense to me just because, although I love Solo, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun watching it. Nobody asked for Solo to be made. Even when they were making it, talking about it, I feel like the general consensus was like, why are we getting this movie? We don't need it. But I don't know, it might be cool anyways. I'm even being kind in that. A lot of people straight up didn't want the movie. But so no one wanted it. It didn't do well. Don't use that against how well Obi-Wan could do, because for years, everybody's been clamoring for an Obi-Wan movie and wanting it and really pining for Ewan McGregor to come back. So it seems to me obvious that you regardless of the success of Solo, you should think that the Obi-Wan movie would be successful because everybody wants it.
Right.
But I guess that wasn't convincing enough for them to, if they were even aware of how much people wanted it. So, I mean, Netflix show. I've been saying for years I wanted a Netflix show of Obi-Wan. I think that is the best place to use Obi-Wan and to be fitting for as much, fitting for how much everybody wants him back.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of maybe just taking off what you said. I think it could be what they're contemplating is that, look, we've got Rian Johnson, we've got Benioff and Weiss making these trilogy of movies. Mm-hmm. So technically, you've got 6 movies in development.
Yeah.
Why would you keep making other movies? Unless they were developing an Obi-Wan movie, but they're not. It doesn't seem like they're not. It seems like they're making interconnected movies within themselves.
Maybe, yeah.
Because it definitely Ryan's doing a trilogy. It kept saying that Benioff and Weiss are doing
like a
series of movies, but
whatever that means.
I think there was a rumor that came out that they are indeed doing a trilogy. Mm-hmm. So anyway, just to say you got 6 movies in development.
Yeah.
All these things that we've heard that rumored an Obi-Wan series, an underground type series, like with gangsters or bounty hunters, so you have all these different. I mean, it was even rumored a little bit that there would be a Solo sequel, obviously before they kind of released it. Mm-hmm. So you have all these different movies that you could translate. Now you have a platform for that. So maybe these stories, Star Wars stories, live as Disney Plus series.
Yeah.
And you have your films that are more, just theatrical stories, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe because I do believe, going back to Rogue One, I really think the success of Rogue One, to me, well, overall, look, I think it was just a great movie. It was very well acted, very well directed, but in the end, make no mistake about it. I mean, it was a prequel. Like, it leads into episode 4. Like, you have to. It's so hard as a Star Wars fan to watch that movie and at the end not say, I need to watch A New Hope.
Right.
So it's connected. It's connected in a way that is nostalgic for us. It's connected in a way that it's not. It doesn't finish the story. Like, you have to watch episode 4 to really finish that story.
Yeah.
And to me now, I mean, that's like one big movie, right? I mean, the whole point of it is there's this evil, destructive battle station that's being developed. We got to figure out a way to destroy it, and then it gets destroyed. So it's like it's one big story. Solo, it was truly just a standalone out there movie. It didn't really lead anywhere.
Right.
It's. I think the only way to do that correctly, in a sense, would be to have thought ahead and planned 3 movies.
Yeah.
And made a bigger story out of it, right? Because, I mean, there's questions there, right? I mean, there's questions with Darth Maul.
Yeah, they laid the groundwork for
They did, but in the end, though, the way it ended, it was pretty, it was pretty, like, over. That story was over. So, I don't know. I think that hurt it. I think there was many things that hurt the movie that had nothing to do with the quality of the film. The hangover for episode 8, people not wanting, someone to replace Harrison Ford. Yeah. I mean, you had all these negative things going at it anyway, and I think it had nothing to do with the movie itself. Because I agree with you, I really enjoy the movie. I mean, I really like the movie. But with that said, I think you said it to me earlier today that may have served better on a Plus series, on a Disney Plus series.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, Cody and I talked about this before. I'm assuming there's a Reddit community that's talked about this as well, but I just don't know. You would think that it would do much better as a Disney Plus movie, or but if that wasn't around, if it was a Netflix movie, because for one, you don't have to be as transparent about its success.
Yeah,
I think it would have been more well received. I think the expectation of what it is, like a Star Wars movie in theaters, you have an expectation, and to a lot of people that didn't meet it. But maybe if it was on a smaller platform, maybe that's a different expectation. I think we're still trying to figure out what that is. In a way, you almost got to think, well, should they do that, in my opinion, with all Star Wars movies? So maybe save the ones for the theater that are the bigger, if they do a 10, 11, 12, keep that in the theater. But, Rian Johnson's movies and then Benioff and Weiss's movies, like keep all those on Disney Plus. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's a formula they should consider and think about if they already have. But yeah, Solo, even if they did a sequel to Solo, I would say put it on Disney Plus, or they just use those characters.
Mm-hmm.
We've been hearing rumors about a Han Solo and Lando show. They're just kind of far off, wild rumors out there. There's really nothing to prove or disprove it right now, but it's just kind of rumors. But like that would be cool. I think that's fitting for those guys, those characters, what we know of that world, the underworld universe. I think is fitting for a show, and Han Solo is fitting for a show because he doesn't have big stories that span across the entire galaxy of saving the galaxy and whatnot, destroying big super weapons. It's fighting gangsters and cartels and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like a very
survival.
Yeah, so it sounds like a very much a serial kind of a show. So
it does. Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, each one of those instances in the movie could have been an episode. As you went on.
Absolutely. And you could have expanded like.
Totally.
Enfys Nest could have had its own arc. You can fight them throughout.
His time as an Imperial cadet.
Yeah.
You could have spent a couple episodes on that.
Yeah. So I think Han Solo works better as a show
and I agree with you because that works. I think maybe even though Alden is a movie star,
yeah, definitely,
he's not. And I hate to say it, he's not Harrison Ford,
right?
But he's not Harrison Ford either.
Harrison Ford, right?
So it's like it would have made sense maybe to put him on a separate platform and say this is Han Solo on this platform, maybe, and
that's cool. Yeah.
Harrison Ford is the movie Han Solo.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I can get behind that.
Yeah. So that's why I told you today when you mentioned that. I said, think about though if you take a step back and think about. What if they did a Harrison Ford Han Solo movie?
Yeah, saying
what if it was like 5 years before Episode 7?
Yeah,
and it was Han and Chewie and their whatever situation. That would have made money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, plus it would have been original, fully original, because we never known that part of Han Solo yet. It wouldn't have been like just seeing the stuff that we had heard of, Kessel Run and winning the Falcon and all that stuff. So if you would have done that, I feel like. You would have made $1 billion, and then save this for the series, and then because I brought it up with you, I was like, because think about it's like doing a Obi-Wan movie without Ewan McGregor. Like who would go see that?
Yeah, he's got the market on that time period. Of Obi-Wan.
I mean, if you don't get Ewan, you cannot do it. You cannot do it.
That might be the first Star Wars thing I wouldn't see.
I'm with you.
Close.
I'm with you.
Like, why would I?
Like, I would wait till it came out on video or something, And
be like, it'd be too much of a sick feeling. It's like, why would you do that?
I totally agree.
You talking about this reminds me. I feel like they did this with Harrison Ford and the whole franchise. The Young Indiana Jones series. Remember?
Yes. TV series.
Which I guess it had more of a cult following. I don't think it did too well. I mean, I watched a little bit of it.
I liked it.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it as a kid. They even had an episode where Harrison Ford came on as Indiana Jones.
That's right.
It was like a flash forward kind of thing, flashback kind of thing. So that would have been incredible.
But Sean Patrick Flannery played young Indiana Jones. He was great. I loved the so it was called the Indiana Jones Chronicles, right?
That's right. Yeah. So if they had Alden Ehrenreich as young Han Solo, and then you would flash forward, have old
Harrison,
Han in there every now and then.
That's what I was about to say. That that's what I was kind of glad you said it because it reminded me. Like, think about if you had a Han movie that was when he was older, and you did flashbacks.
Sure.
And you could have a young looking like an Alden playing a younger person than him playing it. But yes, you can make that distinction then. But so because you're still staying true to Harrison Ford's.
Sure. Yeah.
But I like the idea of Harrison Ford being the movie Han Solo.
That's cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I wish. See, if we were a story group, that's probably what we would have said, right?
Yeah,
like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford's the movie one. Maybe we should hold off on that. But so that was a long way around. But my way, but think about this. Mm-hmm. My way about tying into episode 1 for Obi-Wan. Excuse me. So I'm going to pull one random story because, like, what story would we want to see, or what story would you want to see
with Obi-Wan?
Yeah. So I'm thinking, at what point in that 19-year gap, what would be relevant? Because part of me feels like, thinking about it hard enough, part of me feels like I think it's too easy to do anything that involves Luke. Mm-hmm. Like him just being his protector. I'm not actually so interested in that. Like, I understand what happens with Luke. I understand that it takes time for him to become that 19-year-old boy that's dreaming of leaving town. You know what I mean? Like, I still feel like, I think the story of Obi-Wan through those years, if you think back to Rebels, like, is staying hidden.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the story is people are finding out that he's out there, or Vader is figuring out that he's possibly still out there.
Yeah.
Because you remember in episode 4 when Tarkin's like, surely he must be dead, and he's like, don't underestimate it, because I don't think he's truly believed that. He's never said like, welcome, I can't believe you're alive, or I think he knows from that, especially what we see in the comics, that list of people like that are possibly survivors. Yoda's on that list. I think Obi-Wan's on that list, and I think he's never had confirmation that he's dead. So of course he thinks he's. There's no way that Vader thinks he's dead.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that story of him constantly trying to find him, because I think you have to have Vader in it. I think you have to have Vader in it.
That would be nuts.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, and so I think again, you want to talk about attracting fans, right? So you have Vader searching, you have Inquisitors still searching.
Would make a lot of sense.
And I think it's possible that Obi-Wan has to leave Tatooine. I can't believe him to stay there.
But like being hidden though while he's
totally
out. Yeah.
Totally. In disguise or, secret missions or something.
Yeah.
Because again, we don't know. I mean, he's a ghost, right? And we don't know. But think about this, just throwing this out there. How you can tie it into this panel, this 20th anniversary, is what? Obi-Wan having flashbacks.
Yeah, flashbacks.
Because they can do the whole digital young face with the Ewan McGregor. With the Liam Neeson.
Yeah, that would be nuts, man. Well, I mean, if not...
doing some training?
If not that, still have Liam Neeson in the Obi-Wan show.
As a Force ghost.
Communing with...
Yes.
Yeah, like a voice,
that's
whatever.
That's true, too.
Like,
oh, man,
he's got to learn. Obi-Wan has to learn.
Yes. And I think...
Well, episode 3 told us how he can... Like, Yoda was like, I'm going to teach you how to commune with...
Totally. But I think it's been... Has it not been... I think it's been confirmed.
40th... The From a Certain Point of View book talked about... There's a whole story about it.
So has Ewan McGregor or has Qui-Gon fully become a person? Like,
no.
Did he fully... I don't think he can.
I think he's a person... He can't materialize. He can't apparate into a ghostly form, whatever. I think he's just still living in that spiritual force world. So maybe like to himself, he sees himself. I think sees himself as a fully formed person, but he can't project himself to Obi-Wan just yet. Yeah, so he's just a voice basically. Right. And then there's the story, which I mean, I guess they could always retcon him if they wanted to, but. Yeah, there's that story from a certain point of view where he finally materializes himself, projects himself.
So he does, yeah.
And then chooses, like, he goes through the whole process, like, I'm going to choose this form because this is what Obi-Wan remembers me as. So I'm going to look like kind of how I was when I died.
Okay.
Which, led to other canon answers kind of stuff, but it was very interesting.
Yeah, because I feel like he's got to, I feel like at some point he's got to visit Yoda, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Visit. I'm feeling with the Dagobah, man.
Yeah, I mean,
do some
You're
training.
talking about some major fan service here, but you know, but there's parts of the story because they gotta talk still about what's the plan, right? I mean, they're hiding, they're waiting.
Well, the plan, it's like he goes with Luke to train him up, and then again, there's that from a certain point of view story where he does talk with Yoda about
about Leia.
I don't think Luke can do it. Like we need to go with Leia.
Yes, and I think you can get Jimmy Smits back to make an appearance. You know, I don't know. You know, maybe he still reaches out because again, in Rogue One, there's never a mention or anything that he hasn't seen him since Episode 3. You know, it's like
you just got to keep it contained. You just have to
keep it contained.
No loose ends, really.
Agreed. But that's how you tie this back to Episode 1. That there's going to be some references to Episode 1 in this series. You know, especially his training. I think it would be killer. Because I mean, the Master and Apprentice book is coming out. It's like that's that kind of storyline, whatever it is that and you could show a really young.
Yeah, you can go younger.
Young Obi-Wan, right?
Yeah.
In his 9-year-old Obi-Wan training.
And then all you need is just to digitally make Qui-Gon younger.
That's right.
That kind of thing. Because you can, in that sense, you can also bring Ian McDiarmid back, Sam Jackson back.
I know.
You can do all these
Yoda,
this stuff.
obviously.
They're
Keanu Mundi.
They already made a young Sam Jackson in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, totally.
So,
and he doesn't ever look that old anyway.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He looks the same. But I mean, I just think that is, again, if I were planning Celebration and on the story group, that's what I would do. What would you do? For an Obi-Wan series.
Yeah. I've always thought there is plenty there on Tatooine I think he could get himself mixed up with. The Star Wars comic had a great storyline with Obi-Wan and Owen Lars. Oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. Is it Joel Edgerton?
Joel Edgerton. Edgerton. Yeah.
Edgerton. He said it that he would come back as Owen Lars if they were asked him.
Yes, that's right.
Because he's a big actor now as well.
He is.
So I would. He wasn't in Phantom Menace though, but I would say definitely make him a character in the show because you don't have to have Luke be part of it. But I think Owen makes sense because there's always that.
Yes.
Like, how does he start to develop the hatred? You know, I would like to see how he starts to really not like the Jedi, hate the Jedi. I mean, it seems obviously to us, but that the Jedi ruined his family's life, kind of thing. But I would love to see that some conflict maybe with that. You have Tusken Raiders, you have the Hutts, you have other bounty hunters. Bounty hunters are coming after. Maybe the Inquisitors go after Force-sensitive children, right? So they could find Luke just as a normal Force-sensitive kid.
It could,
so I think that would bring the Inquisitors into the picture, and they find Obi-Wan. Yeah, then they can kind of do that thing. But there's several ways they can go about it. I would love. I think seeing Qui-Gon would be like an ultimate thing. Like seeing Obi-Wan's training, and it brings all again back to Jedi and the Force. I think that is the perfect way to have that come back into it, and just learning more about the Jedi and making that the focus again. I think is pretty huge. So learning more about Obi-Wan would be cool. I mean, it's not like Yoda or Han Solo. It's like, well, people love the mystery of their past and that we don't know it. Well, like I would love to know all about Obi-Wan. Like,
oh gosh,
what planet does it come? We have the old EU, but I would love to learn that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because he's arguably the greatest Jedi. I mean, he's the one that has survived it all.
Absolutely. He defeated Darth Vader.
Survived the Purge. I mean, I think, I think, and we know Ewan McGregor has done TV, right? Wasn't he on Fargo?
Yeah, he did.
He did a whole season of Fargo. So it's like, I think he's open to being whatever medium it would be.
Format,
I mean, he's just a great actor.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, this would put him, I think, in another category in the Star Wars universe. Like, I think, I guess Harris. You would probably say Harrison, Hamill, Fisher. They're obviously top level.
It's like the untouchable
actors,
the legacy actors, the whatever. Like
I would think he would join that.
Ewan McGregor is up definitely there. Like you can include Ian McDiarmid, you know, all those original guys. But yeah, Ewan McGregor is the.
But I think he would, if you do something like this. I think he leapfrogs like Billy D. Williams. I think he leapfrogs like Anthony Daniels.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you put him, he's going to be loved. I think especially the storylines that come out of this, because he is, because if anybody complains anything about the prequels, it's never Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it is never, his portrayal is never his storyline. It's never Ewan McGregor was a bad actor. You know, it's like he was. I mean, a lot of people may say like, "Oh, he got bad lines," you know, but Obi-Wan, he's did such a great job. And you never had that feeling of, well, it's not Alec Guinness, you know?
Yeah.
So I think I don't know. You obviously have 19 years, so you literally could stretch this thing out to like 4, 5, 6 seasons.
Yeah. Like I would love to see an arc or a season of him just getting to Tatooine, so it's all fresh still. Everything, like Luke's a baby,
dropping
so
the baby off.
Really, yeah. You can do him. What's the word I'm looking for? Him basically getting used to this new life. Well, very much like Kanan, what we saw in the book, where it's he's adjusting. He has to just avoid conflict. He sees something going wrong, it's like
walk away.
Can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
I like to think that Obi-Wan can't help himself, and he just has to, because he's got to develop that persona as an old hermit wizard. You know,
yes, it's true.
So he does a little bit. Like he's got to be doing a little something there. He has to. I want to see how he learns how to do the crate dragon sound.
That's true.
How in the world does he learn? You know, so I don't know. That's
now. I wonder, do we know if I haven't looked fully, but is the lightsaber he has in 3 the same as he has in 4?
I think so.
Right?
So, yeah.
So he never loses his lightsaber.
No, that's like one rule.
So he's
This is your life.
That's true. But yeah, I think you have now. Okay, so the big question then is, with a series, obviously, what's the conclusion? Like, what is it going to?
You have to have an arc spanning all the seasons in a way.
Yeah, how does this series end satisfactory to people that leads into, I mean, I don't know, do you go all the way as far as episode 4? Or do you end it beforehand for some reason?
I know what a lot of people would say. I think they would say...
Because remember, how do you pass his... I mean, do we see a live action version of the mall fight?
I was getting there, because... Like again, talking with Cody, it's like it almost stinks that we saw it in Rebels.
Yes,
because it's like that's what people want to see is a live action fight of Ewan McGregor and Ray Park going at it. Just two powerhouse actors like that. But
gosh, yeah. Oh my
so
God.
either they could recreate it again from a certain point of view. It's like who knows how we know it went down, kind of thing. So they can do it their own creative way. I'd be totally fine with that.
I would totally.
You know, they don't.
I don't care if it's the same shot for shot.
Look
of it.
And if they want to do the samurai style thing that Filoni did, where there were like 2 moves and that was it, or they want to actually make a fight out of it, I'm fine with whatever. Or do they lead up to that, or do they just skip that moment? You know, we just don't talk about it, because you would think that would be the ultimate conclusion: is you have Obi-Wan adjusting to this new life. He's definitely much stronger as a Jedi when we see him at the end of that 19 years in that episode of Rebels, which is more like 17 years later. But Maul coming to his storyline as well. Just both these characters coming to, like, this is like how they've matured or not matured over the course of these years, and then finally duking it out, settling it once and for all. To me, that is like a fitting conclusion, because it started in episode 1.
That's right.
Ended in this show.
That's right.
Rebels did a great job with it. I loved that episode, and Sam Witwer was phenomenal, of course. But I think I think they do have missed something to where they could have had Maul be a character in this show as like that villain trying to find Obi-Wan. Or maybe he's always there, and they're going at it throughout the course of a couple seasons. I don't know.
Gosh, that's very true.
So but that's not going to happen now. So that would be a total retcon and just like wiping away that episode entirely. So I don't think they're really going to go that route because of what Filoni created.
But you couldn't you? They could, because again, we thought in episode 1 that was going to be the only fight between you and Obi-Wan and Maul. But in Clone Wars, they fight again, right? When he comes back, they fight again. Yeah. So they've had multiple battles. So it doesn't leave the realm of possibility that, again, Obi-Wan could leave Tatooine. And they could fight somewhere else.
That's true.
And that's how he knows he's still alive, but doesn't know what planet he's living on.
That's so true.
So eventually he finds out in Rebels, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, because in Rebels, that was his ultimate goal, was to figure out where he is.
Where he was, yeah. Use Ezra to open the holocrons, and then he saw the twin suns, figured it out. But before then, at some point, because as we see in Solo, he's the head of the Crimson Dawn. So maybe Obi-Wan runs into him somehow, or I don't know. There's
having Obi-Wan go up against Crimson Dawn would be super cool.
Gosh, yeah, right.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
And you can, that's what I love is building on this underworld. Like, I think they've set everything up to where, so Solo was that 10 years before?
10 years before episode 4.
So about 9 years after episode 3, you can have a moment in there. So Obi-Wan's there. He's on Tatooine, probably. Jyn Erso's around this time. So you have all these characters that could possibly intertwine. If they want to really keep building this world, they have that room to introduce these characters. Maybe, Obi-Wan can't really get involved with the Rebel Alliance at this point, but Saw Gerrera maybe finds them, works with them a little bit. And
but Mothma obviously knows about him.
But at this point, they really aren't. That's where he's
not involved.
You are in a hole. You're right. Yeah. So they haven't reached out to him yet. I guess at any point in time, Bale could have reached out to him, but I guess they just know, like, we can't communicate no matter what happens until Luke is ready or something like that.
Yeah.
So
because it does bring up the question too with Rebels, like, the Jedi were extinct.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden there's Kanan, there's Ezra.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Obi-Wan shows up with a different cell. A little rebel cell, and helps them out, and so that's why they're not so like surprised to see a Jedi, because they know maybe Ezra's out there. I don't know, Kanan's out there. So there's all kinds of things you can do. I mean,
you can find your little holes.
Yeah, I don't think
cool stuff.
I don't think the world. Remember when Rebels came out, a lot of people were Rebels. Basically, when Rebels came out, there was that whole thing about, okay, well, Kanan's got to die. Yeah. Ezra's got to die because they're not in the original trilogy. Even Hera, possibly. But we know Hera survives the whole way. She's beyond Return of the Jedi. So with that, I don't think there's anything technically right now with Obi-Wan that says it has to be a certain way, right? I mean, I think there's things that definitely can happen in that 19 years.
The best example is Ahsoka.
Yes.
Nothing has gone according to what we thought it would be with her.
Exactly.
She's still alive.
Yes.
So
she's coming back somehow too.
In the world, yeah. She could.
She could show
why
up live
couldn't
action.
she show up?
Totally. Why not?
Obi-Wan show. I don't know. Who's to say it can't?
Because does she know if he's alive?
I don't.
We don't know.
It's not clear.
So
that's the thing. Like that's what I think is Story Group is good at finding those little holes to kind of fit. Like, oh, well, this is possible because we didn't say no against this.
Yes.
We didn't talk about what could happen. So they're good at that. But then again, they do shy away. I feel like a lot of times from fan service type of stuff. But you can make it work, man. You can make any of it work. Boba Fett could come in. You could do all kinds of stuff with the Obi-Wan show. So.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
You can bring in all those guys if you wanted to.
Yes, he could.
I don't think you can meet Han Solo, but
no,
maybe Lando or
definitely Lando.
That's possible, sure.
Yeah,
I think Crimson Dawn's pretty good. Awesome, I love that idea.
Yes,
I think that's
totally
great.
Yeah, maybe something to do with the Hutts too.
To add fuel to the fire of Maul's hate. Like Obi-Wan could be the cause of Crimson Dawn to fail.
See?
And to exile Maul on Malachor. They could have a fight on Malachor and Obi-Wan could bail.
Completely. You know? That's it.
Done.
There's nothing there that says that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Because that fuels.
There it is.
That he's on Malachor. Yeah. That fuels.
It's like, once again,
yes,
I am destroyed by this man.
And he gets, by chance, he runs across Ezra, that somebody that's capable of helping him find the person that caused him to be there.
Yeah.
It's like yes,
this guy,
perfect.
He took my legs. He's beat me time and time again. He's ruined my life.
Because how did
he here, Malachor?
How did he get there? We have no idea.
Yeah. There's because you got to think when we saw Maul and Han Solo, thinking well, what is Han Solo going to go after Maul in a sequel? No one can stand up to Maul unless you're Obi-Wan Kenobi. Really, that's the only logical answer I can think of. Who could dethrone Maul from Crimson Dawn? Unless all the cartels went after him,
that's true.
Him, whatever. But
no, that's totally true.
That would make total sense, and that'd be super cool. I'm going to write it,
and
I'm going to.
People would probably. Maybe like Solo more because of that. I don't,
Very true.
I don't know. Connectivity. It's all about connectivity, and we did a big episode about that a while back. You can, I think it was called A Larger World or something like that. So you need to. It's all about connecting everything. I think that just makes it better.
Yeah, it could be Obi-Wan with the partisans, and that brings in Saul and those guys, and going after Crimson Dawn. So.
Totally. Oh man, totally.
It's writing itself right now.
I know. You guys can story group. You can have some of that.
Yeah, there you go.
Take some of that.
I'm just a fan. I just want to see it.
Yes.
I don't have to write it.
Yeah. Unless you want us to.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. All right. I think that's a good first step of speculating on what we want to see out of Obi-Wan. I'm sure we'll hopefully be able to talk more about it if we see or hear anything by Celebration.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, 49 days away from Celebration. It says 48 because it's almost midnight. Guys, thanks for listening to us. We will be, again, at Celebration. Don't know what time yet or what day we are going to be broadcasting our show on the podcast stage there. Some great podcasts that are going to be there. Checking them out. We'll be there, and it just seems like it's shaping up to be an incredible time. Incredible reveals, things that we'll be able to talk about for months to come, leading up to all this stuff coming. So thanks everybody. Go to InsideTheForce.com for this show and all other shows. Of course, check out our YouTube channel if you want to watch us. We're on YouTube as well. Thanks, everybody. For Case Cooley.
The truth is often what we make of it. You heard what you wanted to hear, believed what you wanted to believe.
Oh, where is that from?
That's that's actually
Clone Wars?
And no, it's in Return of the Jedi. It's right after he says the certain point of view line.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, Obi-Wan. So I should have read this line, but I think I've already said it before. Talking about all this rumor, it seems very. It's always seemed very, pinch of salt kind of rumor. But until Star Wars put out on Instagram, and I just remember this today. So they posted a screenshot of an Obi-Wan quote. Was in my experience, there's no such thing as luck. I just happened to post it today after all this stuff coming out, and then in their caption in the copy it says "Stretch out with your feelings and trust your instincts." Wednesday wisdom.
Oh,
now,
that's right.
It just seems so convenient that they would put that out on this day, making that quote, making that explanation below it, like trust your instincts, trust your feelings.
Right.
It's basically telling me, okay, what I'm hearing is true. So
I know.
That's to me is what solidified. Okay, this is happening. It's happening. So
yeah, I'm with you. I think that was you texted that to me, and I was like, weird. That was weird.
Yeah.
All the rumors going around.
Very
it's
convenient.
Very, very convenient. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great rest of the weekend. We'll be back next week. Hopefully by then, maybe a title reveal. Who knows?
I'm not expecting.
I'm kind of over that now.
I'm done. I don't care what it is.
That built up for like 2 weeks. Yeah, yeah, right. All right. Thanks, everybody. He's Casey.
Goodbye, everybody.
I'm Dave. May the force be with you.